Yeah, yo, folks. Welcome to the latest and the greatest from the Yonko table. That is the voice of Grandmaster Hoop coming at you from Psychedelic, baby. We're going down the Witch's Road. That's right, folks. We're here to talk about episode 4 of Agatha All Along, the hit Marvel MCU series that stars Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness as she and her coven of witches head down the witch's road for whatever's at the end of the witch's road. And we are here with the fourth entry down the witch's road. And well, we're here still. And we're gonna talk about what we thought about the episode. I'm sure we are quite feeling some type of way about this episode. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonko, Dr. Jace Attorney. Dr. Jace Attorney, aren't you so excited to be again having this 70s, soft rock infused version of the Witches Road ballad? Aren't you so excited to talk about this episode? Aren't you like you're googling for Agatha all along, aren't you?
Why don't you tell everyone what your attentiveness was with this
What do you
episode?
mean? What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
You
What does that
sure?
mean?
You sure?
I don't know what does attentiveness mean?
Were you awake the entire time?
Yeah, yes I was.
Really?
I mean,
Mm.
that doesn't matter because I
It doesn't
fall
matter.
asleep during everything. I fall asleep during everything, so it
You're
doesn't
right. You
matter.
fell asleep during
Me,
Endgame. You're right.
I did not fall asleep during Endgame, but me falling asleep in this show does not actually dictate the quality of this show. So
Mm.
whatever you're alluding to here, you need to stop. Okay. Um, so you liked it. Let's run with that. You
Let's
liked the
go with the hard
episode.
no. Let's go with the hard
Let's you
no.
liked the
Capital
episode.
N,
Let's
capital
hear
O,
from
N
Dr.
period
Mondo.
O.
Dr. Mondo's here too. Dr. Mondo, you enjoyed the episode, correct?
What are you talking about? No, I did not enjoy this episode.
We are all, you two are in agreement. I
Wow,
see.
Overlord Feige trained you well,
Right, because I gave my opinion of the episode.
and
Right.
we
I
gave
Go
love
ours.
ahead.
how
Give your opinion. Give your
Come
I
on.
opinion.
think this was the weakest of the bunch so far, I
Would you say it
think.
was bad?
No, I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm gonna say it's weak. Um,
Mm. Mm.
bad means I
Mm.
didn't enjoy it. There were definitely things I enjoyed in this episode, but
Right.
overall entertainment value, I would say it's pretty weak. And I think it's because, I've been using the word daring a lot. If you're gonna do something with it. So that was my biggest thing. I think, we talked about this. It was we knew it was gonna kind of be like trial of the week. What's the trial of the week? How's the trial gonna be cool? How's it gonna be different? How's it gonna be challenging? And put these witches in a predicament that calls for them to use their skills. I think the premise is fine. I think the trials is fine. I think, them getting a moment to shine amongst the cast is, I mean, that's pretty staple for any kind of show with an ensemble cast. However, I just think the execution here, I mean, that's pretty staple for outside of probably the song ensemble cast was relatively weak. And I'm specifically
Mm.
just talking about the trial here. I do think there were some good bits of, conversation between the coven and, more tidbits and crumbs to the mystery. But I think the trials are supposed to be kind of your big kind of hook and your big kind of selling point. And I would say it was relatively weak.
No, I think like I'm gonna piggyback off what you said, but I'm just gonna be a little bit more harsh. But like
Whoa. Whoa.
I do get what you're saying, and that it like the trials of the Witch's Road, like they kind of hyped up the Witch's Road, and from the second episode on, right? And the trials, in my opinion, really haven't been that. I think it would be very what would have been interesting, kind of like with these trials, to be really psychological and just like challenge each one of the characters. Let's say when it comes to something of like truly, let's say, of their personalities, of their past. And this one, they kind of touched a little bit on something of the past, but the thing is that it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. It was just like, oh, how do we kind of make this slightly interesting? Let's just say, oh, this. Where did this come from?
I'm gonna need you to get specific later
So
on.
yeah, so I think like the scar thing.
Oh, that
Like,
was from the demon.
no, yeah, that was from the demon, but it's like I thought it came out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, that like you were pursued by a demon in your past, and
The
then
curse. Sorry, the
the
curse.
curse, exactly.
I have
Like,
a generational curse, by the way.
like you have a generational curse, and that your mom's like this song was just to protect you. It's like that kind of came out of nowhere. For me, there were a lot of things I think in this episode to me that came out of nowhere, and it's fine for you to have a little bit of that, especially like in a witch show. You can kind of pull things out of your ass, honestly, when it comes to magic. You can do it. From time to time, you can do it. It's fine. When you're abusing that, then there's a problem. Because it's like, oh, and anything goes because you can just pull it out of your ass, or a magic hat. And I think that's my biggest problem as of now with this series. There's no explanation of anything.
The part that got me on Dr. Mondo's point was when they were playing the song, and then they're like, "Look, it's the demon," and it's just like,
honestly, the demon looked really shitty.
It looked really bad.
It looked really bad. And I was like, wait, that's it? That's the trial?
And they're like, quick, play the song louder. Down the witch.
It was so granted, the song was dope.
I
will say that the song was possibly the best part of the entire episode. Like, it was honestly a good song. I can see myself kind of listening to it on Spotify from time to time, being like, I'm not gonna skip it.
No, that one deserves a download, which I actually
so it's like that one, like that's a song that I can play on Spotify, and I'm not gonna press skip on it. Like, I'm gonna listen to it.
And interestingly enough, we now have 3 versions of the song.
Yeah.
Because
what's the third one?
You missed it. The cold opening to the NCIS bit was
oh yes,
the Witch's Road.
It's
like down the Witch's Road.
I try to forget that episode.
That little, like, I don't know, bluegrass country. But yeah, so there's 3 versions. So I think that's actually cool. But yeah, no, I like you said, I think I don't know if I needed a physical manifestation of the curse.
Agreed.
Especially if it was going to be that. I was like, that's not a curse, that's a demon.
That's a demon. It's kind of like you're being possessed.
And then also too, like she said, I thought it was just me. I can't hold a job or anything like that. I'm like, that demon, that's the reason you can't hold a job?
Oh, come on.
He's not out here just like trying to kill you.
He's
every day.
He's jinxing her.
I guess, but goodness, that demonic looking, and it's like all he's doing is making sure she can't get a job application through.
Which is
the
like,
thing that I don't know,
like, I don't look like, because we don't even know. Like, I never thought she was like a klutz or like a silly.
I guess when we first meet her, she lost her job. Like when she tackles Teen in the mall.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
that was
it's kind of like they made it so she loses her job.
Yeah, that was something that Agatha set up to like get her to, get fired or whatever. But other than that, there's nothing in her character.
There's no inclination.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. It's basically her telling us right now in this moment, by the way, I have something that like I've never been able to.
I have something. And it's like
I've never been able to hold a job in my life or have any stability. I'm like, okay, thanks for telling me this now. But I guess that makes the curse demon make more sense. But like, no, man, this is not how you do storytelling. This is not how you write.
No, like honestly, it's like they're just pulling things out of their ass. And do it once, do it twice, that's fine. But like for the entire premise of this episode to be something that you pulled out of a magic hat, that's like really lazy. And also the trials. When I was thinking of like trials, trials are supposed to truly like challenge you, like both, like, let's say their physical powers, their emotional state, everything. And to a certain degree, I think like grow as a result of their trials. I think that's something that you should see, like a growth in the characters. themselves with these trials. And I just feel that after 2 trials of me watching this show, I have seen no growth, really.
Oh, I disagree with that.
And like at least like okay, and please tell me like where you disagree in that. And like it's fine, I'll hear you out, but I don't feel that there's been like any significant or appreciable growth in, I would say, like most of the characters.
Well, one, you have to look at it. They're growing as a coven, you know, and this episode definitely highlights, especially at the end of the trial where they're kikiing around the fire, talking about scars and whatnot. They are growing as a coven.
Okay, that's
They're
fine.
learning.
Like sure, like
Well,
which is
that's growth.
to be expected. But I'm talking about like the characters themselves. Like it's not just like, oh, we've been through 2 trials, ha 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 ha. That's not
That's
like growth.
it's still
That's not the
growth.
growth
That's
I'm looking for, though.
well,
like,
it may not be the growth you're looking for, but it's growth. But I
It's
don't
very
think your problem,
superficial. That's
I
very
don't think your
superficial
problem
growth.
is actually with growth. I think your problem is really just with, because Alice is obviously the main focal point of this episode. I think your main issue is just the execution, because they did allude to her mother. She's the daughter of her mother. We learned that in
Yeah,
daughter of a
like,
witch. We learned that in episode 2. Episode 3, we get the hallucinations and some regret she has with regards to her mother and all that. We get in this episode, she gets called out for being, you're supposed to be the protector. Why aren't you protecting people? And then I just think all that setup, and then what we get here is
nothing that has nothing to do with any of that, like of you protecting.
Well, we do get protection. They play the song, which is actually, her cover is a protective spell. But again, what we get here is a relatively lackluster demon, a fun song.
Trial. It's a lackluster trial.
That's what I'm saying. So there's growth, but how it is displayed and how it is executed here doesn't, it just doesn't match up with everything they've been doing
Would
here.
you say
It's
bad?
like they were going like this, and then they did this.
I just don't think that it's meaningful growth.
I don't think your issue is with the growth.
No. Like that's not my prime issue. It is one of the issues, but it's like, one, I'm not seeing any meaningful growth in the characters, and the trials have been lackluster. They're not.
That's what I think your true issue is.
Yeah, because when you hear the word trial and you're in this like fantastical element of the Witch's Road, and the way they kind of hyped it up, the way they talked about the Witch's Road, it's like it's a legend, and like now the legend, the myth or the legend is real, and now it's dangerous, and like Agatha, you were the only one who got to the end of the road. And it's like at the end of the road, there's this power, like pretty much like whatever you wish becomes reality, like Wizard of Oz or whatever. And these trials, they're so lackluster. They don't really challenge them. It's not a challenge. It's just like, oh, so we got to play a song together? Okay, cool. So we got to look for ingredients here? Cool.
They got to prove their witchiness. The first one
was
like, the potion.
It's like, and then like you pull some things like out of nowhere. So I'm like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this like 3 episodes ago, but this happened. Oh, that explains this.
The first exam was a potions test, the first trial, and then the second trial was generational curses, generational trauma.
Generational curses with a demon that's just like flapping its wings. Ha! Ha!
It's like a vulture.
Like a freaking vulture. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would say, again, the trial itself is supposed to be what hooks the watcher.
These are starting to become aesthetics more than them actually doing something interesting with it. Because we were kind of excited when we saw it last week with what was the comparison it was to?
The real I see most people calling it like the Real Housewives.
The Real Housewives, right. and it seemed to dip its toes a little bit in that regard, but it wasn't going too all into it. But we were hoping like, oh, are we gonna get like a new theme like every week? Is it gonna, do something different? Like the next trial is gonna be like a period piece, or is it gonna be a based off of like a movie or something? And so now with this episode, it being like this is like the 70s, right? Like 70s era.
Yes, this is definitely 70s.
And it's like the only thing they really do with this is the song, which
I mean the look and the song. Yeah.
No, right. Well, no, I mean besides the look, because when they go inside the house, the aesthetic is pasted on them. They're like, oh, this is where we're at right now. But then groovy, but nothing happens.
Yes, correct.
It's like, again, it's kind of like a fan service of just like pure aesthetic that you're giving, and there's no substance behind it.
You want to see Agatha in a 70s outfit?
It's just, you're portraying it saying like, oh wow, they went to the 70s. Where will this lead? Nowhere. They just like went to the 70s.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be a sitcom. There's gonna be a sitcom one.
Well, see, this is the thing. This is again when I talk about daring, because like you're saying, Dr. Jace, they didn't do anything. If I'm putting a spooky premise, a spooky based show in the 70s, that screams to me Scooby-Doo. I don't.
Wow, what a missed opportunity.
I would have loved
to
had a
like,
sequence
say it.
where that demon is chasing them and they're doing like
make
that
it a
thing.
Mystery.
I don't even mean a mystery. I'm just talking.
That
I mean, the
gag
shows
where
are
they're running it.
where they're running around and it's like they go through one door and come out the other door.
Yeah,
and then or even during the song bit, I would have appreciated if they leaned all the way into making this feel like a 70s music video.
What's new, Agatha? We're coming after you.
Oh God, no.
What did they do? They
could have just
my references. I love my references.
They could have just played something which I think maybe they played something kind of similar to like the Hex Girls from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Well,
literally.
Keep it 70s though.
But like, I'm just saying, like, let's say if they didn't go with the 70s, they could have just done something Hex Girls is. They did that would have been better than this entire episode.
Oh, you mean like as a band? Like if
they might do that later on. We don't know.
They might, but the thing is that here's the thing. You already used the band bit.
Yeah, you can't do it
again. You used the band bit.
Oh, I mean,
you can't do this again.
I think they might.
What?
Like, if they do this again,
we have 3 versions. I don't think it's absurd to think we'll have more.
No, that's not saying that we're not gonna have more, but being expressed as a band,
as
like Oasis, they're not gonna do this again. So that even if it's not outlet is gone.
Even if it's not a band, I think there will be like there could be a rock version.
But this was rock. This is
rock. like I mean different type. This is like soft.
Oh man, that would be
rock.
There will be, but it won't be expressed through a band, which is what Dr. Mondo is.
I mean, I doubt
thing. If you use another band bit, then it's like you guys are lazy as hell.
They can.
I don't think it's gonna be a band as far as we need to do and perform to get out of this trial. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
They can't. They can't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I think we will get more versions of this song. I'll be surprised if we make it over 5, but I think at least 2 more. But yeah, definitely no. The trial wasn't that great, and I guess as far as Protector goes, it is the extent of a song. The other big kind of thing in this episode is they have what's her name is dead officially. I thought she was dead. I mean, again, they're witches, so I was like, maybe they can bring her back to life.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it would have been funny to have her for this episode because she's been in that 70s show. And you're here in the 70s.
Oh my God! What? No, no.
That is a missed opportunity.
That is insane.
Sure, I don't need it, but I can see the comedic.
No.
I can see the comedic value.
The comedic value. No, you know what? This show became a 0 out of 10 just for that.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why would you not do that? Like that doesn't make any lick of sense whatsoever.
Because they don't want to be so on the nose. She's
a gag.
Oh, okay.
It's a gag.
Right. It's a gag. Let's put now the coven in a government office so Rio, Aubrey Plaza's character, can do her little April Ludgate.
Who's more
bit.
iconic, Aubrey Plaza?
But no,
Aubrey Plaza, or.
Listen, you're correct. You're correct. Let's go ahead. Let's put them on the set of SNL so Sashir Zamata can have her little fun SNL tie-in. You see,
you're being dumb.
It can keep going. It can just keep going. It can keep. What I'm saying is, you don't need to do it. They're recognizing these people beyond. They're recognizing them beyond their, their iconic credits and whatnot.
And this is coming from the guy that's saying they're in the 70s. Why don't they do a Scooby-Doo reference?
I didn't say. I don't mean as in it has to be.
What's New Scooby-Doo like 5 minutes ago.
Well, What's New Scooby-Doo is from the 2000s, so that's
the one you wanted them to sing.
That's not the one I want them to sing. I want them to do those little Beach Boys sounding bands.
What, a pup named Scooby-Doo? That's the one you
wanted.
wanted.
No, that's not the 70s.
That's what you want, though.
You're not a Scooby-Doo fan. No. What I'm just saying is, again, be daring. Be daring. I don't think it's daring to have Deborah Jo Rupp always have that 70s show tie-in.
I think the gag would have been funny if she.
It would have been funny, no doubt.
No. She didn't even need to reference like anything with that 70s show. She could have just been like there.
She could have been a wallflower.
A wallflower. Like literally oblivious to everything that's going on. And that's the gag. That's the gag. It's like she can't even.
I don't need a gag.
You're right. You just want references. I
don't need necessarily references again.
Grandmaster, it's true. We don't need a gag. We need good storytelling. Something they're not doing.
I'm not. No. And again, see.
No.
No. Because again,
we need.
I know what your issue is not storytelling,
but
your issue is execution. Your issue is not
execution of the storytelling.
Oh,
the story, and and again, I am reading that Marvel book.
Of course, your issue, Overlord Feige.
Your issue is not with the story. Your issue is with these pivotal, like, action or the story pauses and we're just supposed to be watching and engage.
But the trials are part of the story.
With
the trials.
But again,
why there's a problem with
your issue is not with the story.
You're playing semantics.
No. Your issue is not with again. Your issue is not with the story. Your issue
is not what you really like.
The trials are weak, but that doesn't mean what they're going through and the characters themselves. The story is not good.
I'm saying the execution of the trials is possibly the biggest blasphemy of this entire freaking show.
And I think you're being really extreme. It's not that bad. It's not great. But it's not where you're.
Honestly, the trials have been dog shit.
No, I disagree.
Is that where you draw the line? Is that where you draw?
I'm not trying to. I
can't deal with extremities. I can't deal with extremities.
No, I think it's. I think the trials have been dog shit.
No, I can't.
There are some funny bits that I've laughed throughout the show. Like some of the jokes.
That's fine. But
but the storytelling is also weak. Hey, I'm not trying to make you agree with me. I'm just telling.
I don't need to agree with you. I want to listen to you, but you make it hard to listen to you when you deal with extremes.
But I'm not
saying
dog
shit is an extreme. This show is not dog shit. Dog shit means no. Dog shit means don't watch next week's episode. Don't watch it. That's what dog shit means.
I mean,
that's what dog shit means. Why would you go back to dog shit?
Was the Acolyte? Was the Acolyte dog shit?
No.
Look,
I gave you an out. I gave you an out.
No. Dog shit means you don't go back.
Like Grandmaster.
Are you going to watch next week's episode?
Listen to what I said.
Out of obligation.
Are you going to watch? You said the story. You said the trials were dog shit. No, you said the trials were dog shit.
Like
we've had two now.
Wait. Emphasis on the trials.
Okay, so then your issue is not with the story.
Can you shut up for a moment to let me explain myself?
No, you already explained what you didn't like.
I
don't want you to repeat.
You didn't let the doctor give his medical diagnosis.
Hold on, I don't want you to repeat why you don't like it, though.
What I'm telling you
is going to give his diagnosis.
Not the entire show is dog shit. I'm saying that this portion of the show, this pretty important portion of the show, which are the trials, are dog shit. Not saying that the entirety of the show is dog shit. but like, and it in no way, shape, or form is this the worst show I've ever seen. I'm just saying that the trials
That's what you wanted to
themselves,
say.
the trials themselves are dog shit as of now. Now,
I disagree.
And that is a problem with the storytelling.
So you like the trials?
It's like this. Storytelling is they're on the road, they have to do the trials. We learn about these witches. We get more backstory. That's the story.
That's
the story.
Plot. That's the
plot, which is the story.
So
the trials, yes, are a part of the story, but that's the thing. The trials are, again, these in this show, these are equivalent to your big action scene. This is the part of the story where you're supposed to, again, in a witch show, this is supposed to be, again, your big hook. This is if I have to make it an equivalent, this is when they attack the helicarrier in Avengers. We do all the dialogue, we do all the character development to get to a big set piece. This is a set piece. They are not executing the set pieces. Well, I'm fine with the potions one because the hallucinations was the thing that elevated that. You missed last week, but we talked about how the
and I saw last week's episode. I didn't love it. It was meh, but it was better than this episode.
I agree. It was
like
better.
In that we can agree. Like I still didn't love it, or I really didn't even like it that much, but it was still better than this week.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the trial. I don't say.
I understand what you're trying to say. I
wouldn't say they're synonymous. The story trials are not
but
synonymous.
The thing is that I understand what you're trying to say. That yes, it's like the hook, like that big action sequence. I totally get that. The thing is that the trials, yes, they have to function as that big action piece. But at the same time, the buildup for the trials has to be there. And like a trial has to be challenging. And it has to be written in a challenging way. Like for it to be challenging.
No, I agree. We already discussed that.
That's the thing. It's like it is a problem with the story because they're really not building up to the challenges, and two, when they execute it, and the execution is part of the writing, the storytelling in itself, they're doing a bad job in it. So it is a problem. Like it is a problem with the story as well. They go hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive. They go hand in hand. There is a problem with the story, and there is a problem with the trials.
I don't have a problem with the story.
No, well, okay, but like I'm telling you, honestly speaking, they go hand in hand.
I see,
and there is a problem going on there.
I see what Dr. Armando is saying to a degree, because like going back to that helicarrier example, like in Avengers, even though the helicarrier is the set piece, Avengers is not building up to the helicarrier. The helicarrier is not the plot in Avengers. Or it just so happens that set piece happens on the helicarrier, versus here, where from episode 1, we were building up to the Witch's Road, and we heard it was like this arduous task, and it was going to be a very difficult thing to go through with all these trials and whatnot. And it started off kind of interesting because it was kind of buried in mystery. We didn't really know what was going to happen on here, and I think that was part of the appeal in us being interested in what the show was going to do with it. But then as we start going down the road and these trials start happening, I'll admit last week's episode's trial was probably a little bit better than this one. This one was really disappointing, and it gets me worried because I imagine each witch is going to get a dedicated trial to them. And the one I am most anticipating, I forget her character, but Lilia, yes. I am very interested in Lilia's because she had the most like demonic looking hallucination from last week's episode. And also she always does like these crazy things like randomly.
And also like Lilia's, it has to do, it's like you're reading the cards, like it's like a fortune telling.
Yes.
And a trial regarding like fortune, your future, fate, all that has the potential of being very, very interesting.
And that's why that's why after having seen this week's episode, I am worried about future trials, especially Lilia's, because that was the witch I was the most intrigued by, because she's funny in like a weird way, and we said it last week.
She does have the darkest. It truly is like the darkest of the powers, because you really, it's an interesting power, like very like it's a cliche power, because like, yeah, fortune telling and all that's been done many times, but out of all the witches, when you really come to look at it, fortune telling, what are you doing really? It's like you really don't have control. It's a power that she really doesn't have control over. No one has control over
divination.
Because
she's not because if you're paying attention, some of those things that she blurts out, it's easy to think that she's thinking of the past, but just this episode today, I don't know what she blurted out, but it made me think, I think she's predicting something there on the spot.
But that's the thing, like divination, that's what I'm getting at. Divination, that power, it's like she has it, like she knows how to use it, but it's an interesting power in the sense that, what you get, there's really no control over it, because you're saying the future, and it's kind of like, it's an irrefutable truth and fact that this is going to happen, and I can't do anything about this because these are the threads of fate. I'm just telling it to you. And like a trial involving that, it can be super freaking interesting.
I'm gonna let it speak for itself when it happens.
Of course.
Listen, we got to talk about this episode. We can.
That's okay.
We could go on for days on how we think it could play out. Rio is here. She is the other big part of this episode in her inclusion, which I thought she lost her memory at a point. I was like, is she the same one?
I'm just like, I'm gonna be like, maybe this may be a hot take, but I'm just not an Aubrey Plaza fan. I'm just not.
Just Aubrey Plaza in general.
It's like,
watch other things with her.
I have nothing against her. It's just
I said, do you watch other things with her? Like, have you seen her in other projects?
And she's almost always kind of like the same type of character. And I'm just like,
he did say he wasn't that into Inside Out.
And it's
she's
like,
not in Inside Out.
Oh, I thought she was discussed. Never mind.
No, God, geez. See, what other projects have you seen her in?
Parks and Rec.
I mean, I'm not an Aubrey Plaza stan.
No. Like, again, just like, and even in this show, I'm just like a little bit. Like, okay, fine.
Because I would disagree. I wouldn't say this is like April Ludgate. It's not like who she played in season 2 of the hotel. What's that hotel show? The White Lotus. So I am genuinely curious when you say she's playing like as if she's typecast.
No. Okay, so I'm not saying that she's playing the same character in this show as she's playing in others. I didn't say that. I said that normally she plays almost the same character. But like Aubrey Plaza doesn't like blow me out of the water, like in pretty much like anything that she's done. Again, she's not bad. She's just like, okay, it's fine. And then like Aubrey Plaza came in and I was like, oh, okay, Rio's back. And I was like, okay, Rio's back. It wasn't like, wow, Rio's back.
Well, I take it her presence here. One, if not all confirmed by the first episode, her and Agatha definitely have some kind of.
Oh yeah,
they were together.
Yeah, it was obvious as hell.
Well, no, the first episode, it's obvious to a certain colored glasses, but
I spotted it from a mile away.
I mean, yes, you could spot it, but this one was
spotted what? Spotted what?
Their relationship.
Who?
Yeah.
Agatha and
Rio.
And Rio. Okay.
Yeah. Like, flirtation in the first episode, all but confirmed here for sure.
I didn't even get that in the first.
I got it.
See, that's why I'm talking about the colored glasses.
Yeah, I got it. I got it very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if Comic Chris was here, I've seen the LGBTQ community come out and say she's giving like when she said I want her like horizontal. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But all but confirmed here. But I guess her presence is supposed to stir up kind of the dynamic of the coven I think she was relatively tamed here,
Yeah,
but
I didn't really buy anything that she was
She was
serving
it,
here.
it just felt like she was
Her
like, oh, I just want to mess around. Chaos. I'm a psycho. It's like
and that's why I wasn't buying it, because it's like, you know who this person is, Agatha. You know who she is. You know the type of person that she is. You already wanted to kill her before she came in here, and now she says a couple lines of like sweet nothings, and you're like, oh, I might consider it. I don't know. Maybe we could do something. I'm like, what? Like that doesn't make any sense. Where's that coming from? How are you that bewitched by her already? She literally said like all of 2 sentences to you.
well, there is a
Dumb.
spoiler out for people. Funko Pops are quite the spoiler. Funko Pops, they say the name of the character.
Oh, some of them, yeah.
Her name did not. I'll
like,
say this: her Funko Pop did not say Rio.
Okay.
And I won't say who it said, but based on who it said to what you are saying about some sweet nothings and it makes sense.
I don't know. I'm not liking it.
I mean, I don't like the fact that I now have an idea of who she is. I mean, the Funko Pop could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
The Funko Pop be wrong. When is it ever wrong?
I'm trying to cast a doubt in my mind so I can enjoy the show.
You're trying to gaslight yourself
so I don't have a preconceived idea that clouds my judgment on the rest of the show. But
okay, Shadow the Hedgehog.
She dropped some hints or some questions. Questioning teen. Again, Agatha getting protective of teen. And then
really,
her and teen.
Nowhere.
I guess they have a budding, friendship.
It's not like I'm not buying, like, from what we've seen so far in 3 episodes. When she reacted the way that she did, when he got injured or whatever, I wasn't buying that, because I'm like, wait, since when have you cared like that?
No, those seeds are there. Those seeds are there.
No, absolutely not.
Let's build this. He's an admirer, right?
Okay.
From the get-go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. She learns there's a sigil. Okay. You with me still?
I'm waiting for the actual seeds that build up
to
her caring.
And then in all of episode 3, they keep bringing up Agatha and her baby, and then she has a hallucination about the baby and the Darkhold, to where now, and then she also was protective of him in that moment too in episode 3. And then by the end of episode 3, that's when she has her hallucination.
Protective in what way? What scene are we talking about?
When she stopped him from drinking the wine.
That was more out of like concern, wasn't it? Like, just, hey, don't drink that. We don't know what it does.
No, what? No.
Yeah, well, no, she was the one that was giving it to him. The wine.
No, that's not what happened.
Who was the one that was about to give him the wine?
He wasn't gonna drink at all. No one was giving him wine because he is underage.
Right, I remember
that. Agatha was not drinking, and so he said, "Fine, I'll drink it."
And then she slapped it away.
No, she said no. And then that's when she finally drank. No, you need to go back and watch.
I'm telling you.
I think
how many times have you seen it? I've watched it twice.
Because you love your Marvel slop. Like, that is
because
not,
I know you're gonna come in here and come in with
that is not a W to say. How many times did you watch it?
No,
did you watch your Marvel grow 5 times like I did?
You are about to say something wrong, and I'm not.
I'm about to tell you that there is
no.
You
said he was about. No, you said they wanted him to drink.
Listen, I remember there was someone that offered him the drink. There was someone that offered him the drink to drink the wine.
In the beginning, he was about to drink.
Whoever slapped the wine out of his hand.
Which was Agatha.
My point to that was, there was not a concern out of, oh no, don't do it. We really care about you. That was a concern as we don't know what's gonna happen. You're not a witch. You're not supposed to be taking this trial.
The next time he offered to drink, they knew it was poison.
They knew he had to do it.
Huh?
They knew he had to do it at that point.
No, none of them wanted him to drink.
We watched 2 different episodes.
Oh no, I just need you to go back and watch, or
I'm not
go look
watching
up the scene
Slop
right
again.
now. No, because you got it wrong. Okay,
I got it dead on.
He was gonna drink because Agatha
like
wasn't gonna
Grandmaster, regardless, like
the
who
point,
of you two is
what
right
I'm
or
getting
wrong.
at is this:
the seeds are very weak.
No. I disagree. Literally, episode 3, plants it in her head that she has regret, and she has doubts, and she has a protective nature over him. So for that to carry over in this episode, that makes sense.
The execution
literally.
is bad. No.
Huh?
Execution is bad.
No, I think that execution is fine. You could say whatever you want about the trial. You got that. You're wrong about the teen and Agatha bit. That has been growing.
No.
And the seeds are there. Yeah.
God forbid if it happens
they're there.
In our other DC show. We'll see. We'll see.
What?
Growth. If we point out to you, this has always been there from day 1, episode 1. You're gonna be no, it wasn't.
Well, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to point things out to you because you are misinterpreting and getting scenes wrong. So
I'm actually
gonna have to
stay awake for the episode.
I'm gonna have to correct you.
I'm gonna stay awake for it.
I'm gonna have to correct you.
I don't have to watch it 5 times.
I don't watch it 5 times because I fell asleep. I watch it so I can come on here and make sure y'all don't spit the wrong stuff.
So you watched it 3 times before coming onto the pod.
Who?
You.
This episode?
Any of them?
Yes. I rewind
5 times.
The penguin. I don't know why we're talking. Hold up.
times.
People are here to listen to talk about Agatha. We're not talking about the penguin. The point is this. They are building the mystery of, the son and whether or not that's her son. I feel you want to talk about weak points and strong points of the show. That is a stronger point of the show.
You could say
because
you were than other ones.
You were dead set last week. You said they spoon fed us.
Well, they're still spoon feeding you. They're just
they're casting doubt. They're casting doubt.
Okay, no. What are you going to say when they finally reveal that is her son? What are you going to say?
That is not her son.
Okay, hypothetically, let's paint a scenario because I know what I'm going to say when it's not her son. What are you going to say?
Why you think it is her son?
Can you just shut up and listen for like all of 10 seconds? All of 10 seconds. It takes 10 seconds. When they reveal in scenario A that is her son, what are you going to say? The question's done.
That's 10 seconds. You didn't think I could do it.
You said no. I needed all of like 10 seconds at most. So I'm telling you right now, if they reveal that is her son, whatever episode it is, what are you going to say to contrast what you're saying now, where you're saying it's a red herring, it's a red herring, they're not spoon feeding you anything? What are you going to say?
Hold up. This is what I'm gonna say.
This is what I'm
gonna say when they reveal who he is.
No.
Because I don't think it's gonna be her son. That's what I think. I don't know. But when they reveal it, I'm going to say one or two things. I'm going to say that was really good setup or that was really poor setup. That's what I'm going to say. When they reveal who he is, it was either really good setup or it was really poor setup. And so far, because that's the thing about last week. I said this. I said, I do believe that was a red herring. I do believe they're intentionally spoon feeding you, but it's all for the rug pull because something is going to go down. And then I'm going to look back at all the bits leading to this. And I'm going to say whether or not this was done well. I'll be very disappointed because it can be her son. I'm not totally against it being her son. I just want the buildup to be great.
Okay.
It could totally not be her son.
Quick question, and maybe like I missed this in prior episodes, and I'm gonna be like very honest, so correct me if I'm wrong here. Did he know that he had the sigil in place?
He did not know.
He did not know. He only knew once the other witches tried to, he tried to say
the other witch. So the other witches told him. Okay, like yeah,
right,
because maybe I missed that little.
Well, actually,
yes.
Didn't they tell him this episode?
No, that was last week's episode.
Oh, because he didn't really ask about it until this episode.
Do you
No,
watch
no.
it?
See, I ask questions
you
before I
watch it?
spit wrong information.
Do you watch it?
I ask questions before I
No.
spit wrong information. Thank you very
This is
much.
your problem.
Thank you very much. I
This
ask
is your
when I don't
problem.
know. I don't just, oh, this happened.
It is
Yeah,
what
I don't do that.
happened.
I don't do that.
You're
I don't do that.
gaslighting right now.
I don't do that. I definitely ask if I don't know.
You're the ultimate gaslighter.
It's okay to ask questions.
So what are you going to do when it's her son?
I said this. Whether it's her son, whether it's not.
We need Kame Chris on here. Jesus
Why?
Christ.
I'm answering your question. You're asking me what am I going to say? I'm literally giving you two answers. Whether it's her son or not, I'm going to look back and whether or not that buildup was good. And honestly, I think the buildup so far is pretty good because at the end of this episode, Rio's like, that's not your son. A, why would she know? And B,
it's a red herring. She's casting doubt.
yeah, I mean, she is casting doubt. It could very much be a red herring because it's like this. Who do you want to believe? You want to believe her or do you want to believe the red herring's already in place?
I just wanted to.
All I know is this. You cannot say she's not protective of the boy. And it was earned. I mean,
clearly she is. That is a fact.
It's earned.
I don't think it's earned.
I think it's earned.
Agree to disagree.
I don't think it's earned.
Yeah.
I think y'all are just haters.
No, we're just being realist with it.
I think you need to go back and actually watch the episodes.
We actually like good storytelling. That's why we are gravitating towards shows like the Penguin without needing to dangle.
You're gravitating towards an unoriginal show. Right. Lovely.
Right.
This
yes.
show is not very original in itself. But
they put 70s outfits on them. This has never been done before.
Right, because
what's the Scooby Doo? We're coming after you.
Yeah, because that's the Scooby. What's the Scooby Doo took place in the 70s? See, you're spitting things that don't make sense.
This is why, but you wanted this.
You're spitting
earlier
things that
you said I
sense.
want either What's New Scooby Doo or you want a pup named Scooby Doo as the theme song to the damn song.
And they can rewind. And again, you're naming Scooby Doo iterations that didn't come out in the 70s. So again, spitting misinformation. The ending of the episode I thought was relatively weak. I'll say that.
This episode as a whole was very weak.
Well, it's the weakest. I did say that. It's the weakest.
It is the weakest. But if I were to see this episode like as its own little microcosm, it's a weak episode. It's a weak piece of fiction and media.
I think that's a very extreme. I don't.
So when Dr. Mondo
I don't know why.
No.
It all of a sudden becomes an extreme.
Like I didn't say this is the worst piece of media because it's not.
But you said in media. You said in media.
No. I said as a piece of media. An episode is a piece of media. It's like something that you consume. It's like it's not saying like in the media in the entire media spectrum, like this is the worst thing. No, I'm saying like if it is the weakest episode, but if I were to
I think you can stop right there. It's the weakest.
No, let him finish. He's going to give you a description of what.
I just think you could stop right there. I don't think
because you don't like what he's saying because it's so negative about the damn show that you love.
Right, and I don't think the show deserves so much negativity.
So you can't dislike one episode.
I'm just saying,
you could dislike an episode. Just like.
Please be nice, Dr. Mondo. Don't go
I'm
too
not
far
being
with
extreme with this show. It's like I'm not saying this is the worst thing I've ever seen, not by a long shot.
I think that could be misinterpreted. Just
you need to listen to his words. Just listen closely.
I do listen,
but let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Listen for 4 years.
Listen to his words. Dr. Mondo, what are you saying about this specific episode?
This specific episode was a weak episode. It was a week, whatever.
Listen, damn it. Listen.
Full stop.
Yeah, you don't want to listen. Oh my
He said that's it. You just said that's it.
You told him to full stop before he even finished.
You don't need to say anymore.
Dr. Mondo, only say good things.
I'll praise what deserves praise, and I'll criticize what deserves criticism. And what I praise of this episode is the song is a banger. And there are some funny moments in the episode, and I praise that. But overall, this episode there's a lot more things that I can criticize than praise. And
Sure.
same thing with last week's episode. And then, like, the first two episodes, I was in this pod and I was saying, like, hey, it was pretty good. Like, I liked the first two episodes, especially the second one. The second one was the best one of the bunch. So I'm just being objective here. I'm not hating, I'm not loving. I'm just being dead honest with what I think.
I feel that is so much better than in a microcosm of media.
No, like,
it's literally the same thing that he
No,
said.
no,
No,
earlier.
it's not. It's
literally the
not.
same
It's
thing.
not the same thing.
You just
It's-
what
paid
I was
attention
saying
this
that
time.
if I
one
if
is
I
a
was-
hyperbole.
No, what I was saying is that if I take that as its own little thing, this episode as its own little thing, the microcosm of media is that I take these episodes as its own little thing is a weak episode, period. That's all I said with that. Like, I wasn't saying it that compared to all media, it's bad. No, I wasn't saying that. Like, that's you who interpreted it like that.
That's what
I
happens
think
when
a lot
you
of
don't listen.
interpret it like that.
Only you.
No, I don't think so. Well, goodness, I don't know. There's more to say about this episode.
It was
And
30 minutes.
that's also a testament to how weak this episode was.
No, I think we just covered everything.
Yeah, but there's not much to cover. That's what I mean.
Oh no, there's just also we covered everything.
Because it was 30 minutes.
I don't think it was exactly 30 minutes.
It wasn't exactly 30 minutes. It was in the 30s. Because when I paused it, I was like, "Wow, it's over already." And it was like 37.
A lot of these Disney shows, Marvel, Star Wars, all that. It's so funny because it's like you see the runtime. It says like 42 minutes, right? Then you go into the episode, and it's like honestly, a fourth or a third of the episode sometimes is just credits.
I mean, I'm fine with a runtime because what you couldn't happen if your runtime is too long is that a lot of it is fluff. And honestly,
but also you can make it relevant. Like, so I think a big problem that a lot of these shows have is that, yes, like you can run into those issues that you're saying, and I agree. You know, that you can have a long runtime, but you don't do anything with it. But you can also have the other end of the spectrum, which is what happens most commonly with Disney, Marvel, even Star Wars shows, that they have very short run times and they rush through things. They absolutely rush. They go at a lightning pace but at the same time, nothing happens. I'm not saying that nothing happened here. I'm saying like this is like a little trend that I see. They just rush through, they skim through things.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, it's over.
I think this show is evenly paced. I haven't had an issue. Actually, this episode, I thought, man, I honestly thought this one could have been shorter, to be honest.
Like, I think so. It could have been shorter because really nothing happened. Like the trial, it was so.
Well, I just thought once the trial ended.
No, yeah, the thing is, yeah, the
over.
trial was honestly, the trial was insignificant. It was way too long for a short episode. So,
well, actually, I thought the trial was relatively short. I thought we had a lot of downtime in the beginning and a lot of downtime.
No, it was a short trial. Like, it was an objectively short trial. It was.
Yeah, like, you know, episode 3 spent the majority.
Happened in the trial. But for what happened in the trial, it was actually way too long. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, objectively it was short, but it was such an insignificant trial that really nothing happened, that it was even longer than what it should have been. Like, that easily could have been a 5-minute trial, and that's it.
I was engaged with the parademon screeching on the second floor.
Well, I also think
I like that.
I also think you don't need a trial every episode. I think you can just. I like dialogue. I like when characters interact.
I agree. You don't need a trial every episode. I agree.
I actually enjoyed the downtime because, again, the cast I think works really well with one another, and it gives you opportunity for them to grow. You only get that when you have more downtime and you have those conversations with them.
Yeah, but the conversations aren't striking me, aren't particularly interesting. And as you know, I am not a person that's like, I have to be action all the time. I'm totally fine with a slow burn series. I'm totally fine with a dialogue heavy series. Give me good dialogue, give me a good script, give me a good plot and a good story, you have me glued.
I will need you to further explain later which aspects of the dialogue you don't like, because
it's just not interesting.
Well,
like
you're generalizing though. Like
no. Like for me, it's not
specific.
interesting. For me, it's not interesting.
I need you to, so I need you to get specific. That's what I mean.
What are you asking him?
Well, when we come on here, they want to hear us get specific. For example, I like when Jen was giving some of her backstory, and I like when Lilia was mentioning she fought off a vampire. Blade tie-in.
No, yeah,
maybe.
like okay, they mentioned those little things, but not like it's not something that it's gluing my attention.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want you to get specific on what parts you don't like, because you know
as a whole, the dialogue in this episode, I didn't find it interesting.
Okay,
he's answering your question. What do you?
No, what I am saying is, it's not as a productive conversation if you just say, "I didn't like the dialogue." You know, I didn't like this scene. I did not like this scene because this blah 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 blah. You know,
so none like the vampire, like the vampire bites, like when she was talking about the obstetrics or whatever. Again, I forgot the names of the witches. Like the College of Obstetrics, all those little tidbits. Rio just I don't know, like wooing Agatha there on this in the.
See, now I'm following what you're saying. You know.
Yeah, like basically, I'm telling you, most of the dialogue scenes, I'm then like mentioning them. They weren't interesting. They didn't glue me in.
Now I know, and now I can pinpoint. I can be like, you know what, the Rio Agatha bits. I don't know where they're going with them yet, so I can see what you're saying.
In other words, basically, I told you the entire pretty much the dialogue sequences did not interest me. I'm not telling you that you have to not find them interesting.
No. What
I am trying to list them out.
No, to have a productive conversation
and waste saliva, kind of just mentioning all the dialogue sequences.
You don't gotta mention them.
Say what I was saying.
It's called an expository essay. If you say I don't like the dialogue, for example, Agatha and Rio, I felt was relatively weak, and we didn't actually learn much about them. I know they're trying to allude to their mystery and their past relationship, but what they gave us here was just some sweet nothings and some mentionings of the sun.
Look, I will be specific when things merit specificity, because if the dialogue sequences, let's say, overall were good and there was one bad one, then obviously I'm gonna hone in on that bad one, like for me, and or vice versa, that everything was that the majority was bad, and then but one was good, I'm gonna hone in on that good one. But if pretty much the entire dialogue sequence for me was not interesting, was bad, I am not going to list them out. I'm just going to say I did not find it interesting.
I get what Dr. Mondo is saying.
Yes, you always get what Dr. Mondo says.
Listen.
No, I get it. No, you're right.
All right, well, I'll explain to Dr. Mondo. When someone serves you gruel, and if you don't like the gruel, and they ask you, what part of the gruel did you not like? Well, I didn't like this specific grain. And no, I don't like all of the gruel. The gruel is gruel. I don't like it.
No, it's called a productive conversation.
What part of the gruel?
When you generalize, you don't get anywhere.
Versus an actual plate, a serviceable plate with like steak and broccoli and like some butter on it. If you still don't like that plate, at least from there, you could say, okay, well, what part of that did you not like? Did you not like the broccoli? Yeah, I didn't like the broccoli. The broccoli was like too mushy. It was overcooked. The steak was too raw, you know? But if it's gruel, it's gruel. Like, I can't
when you don't get specific, it's not a fun conversation.
How would you describe the gruel that doesn't like? Say why you don't like, just don't, it doesn't have to reference Agatha, but you're served gruel. How do you say, I don't like this gruel? Specifically. Are you there? Hello?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you.
I don't know what gruel is, so I don't care.
It's in your thumbnail. What do you mean?
It's not my thumbnail. I thought we were here for a productive conversation. That's fine.
Oh, we've had it. It's just that we don't think the same way you do.
No,
And that's
you don't have
okay.
to think the same way as me. But
want
when
us
you
to, though.
generalize and use extremes, that's
But the
not
thing
a
is that
productive conversation.
I haven't used extremes here.
Dog shit is an extreme.
Well, like again, dog shit is.
Tell
part
me
of
what you don't
culture.
like about it.
Well, like,
But then he
I
tells you what he
literally
doesn't like.
said,
And I had to pull that out of
He's
him
been
I
instead
telling
of using dog shit.
well, I said everything that I didn't like and what I didn't and what I did like, but you just kept
And
on
I had to
covering.
pull that out of you.
No,
For
you
one
didn't have to pull
element.
anything
For
up.
just
I
the
did.
dialogue. That's it.
No,
didn't have to
I had
pull
to do it
anything
for
up.
both. I had to do it for both.
Look, I basically went in on why the
Listen,
trials are bad storytelling.
This is what I want y'all to do. Okay. Come next episode, just take notes. Take notes. Come in here, not with these, oh yeah, I love this part. I want to know what you loved about it. Don't come in here, oh, I hate this part.
No, and
This was weak.
Wait, and I said
tell
what
me
I
why.
did, and I said what I didn't like about the trials. I was very specific. Stop spouting bullshit.
You're gaslighting.
I'm not.
You're gaslighting.
Stop spouting bullshit because I was very
not.
specific of what I didn't like about the trials.
But I
And
had to
consider them bad. So no.
pick and prod. I had to pick and prod.
No.
Like, stop
I'm
gaslighting.
here for a productive
gaslighting.
conversation.
I think we had a productive conversation.
I don't think so.
No, you don't like
think
that the scales of what we disliked are outweighing what you
No,
liked.
I already said
And
it was a weak I already said it was a weak episode.
You said it was a weaker episode.
I said it was the weakest is actually what I said.
But when Dr. Mondo says it's a weak episode, you're like, well, I wouldn't say weak. I would say
no,
weaker,
Dr. Mondo
weakest.
goes with the microcosms of the
Because
media.
If you kept your voice down and just like listen to what I said.
No, I do listen.
No,
You
well,
don't.
like clearly you didn't.
Listen, y'all have an echo chamber. Y'all have fun.
Did he leave?
I think he left.
Wow.
Oh God! Now it messed up all of our vertical alignment.
Oh,
all right, guys.
We drove him out.
Listen, don't worry about like the layout on the video part. But there's our review of Agatha. As you can see, we are very divided on Agatha, specifically episode 4 of Agatha. I mean, maybe episode 5 will get better from here. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Lilia's story. Maybe that'll be some good terror in there, but oh boy. Yeah, no. That's all I got to say about Agatha. Dr. Mondo, any final thoughts on this one?
No, hope it gets better.
Hope it gets better. There you have it, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. If you're listening to us on the audio portion of Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we do these live and they get heated, as you can see right now. So be sure to tune into us live. YouTube link in the description box down below. And if you're already here watching us live, we hope you enjoyed the show. We probably got to make sure everyone's okay after this. It's a Marvel show. It's an MCU show. It's not that serious. But all right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Be sure to leave a like down below. And yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on Agatha episode 4. And we will see you on the next one. Dr. Jace Attorney signing off, folks. Dr. Mondo as well. And, well, Grandmaster already burst down the door and left. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care.